Towson University Tigers are headed west. The Tiger Lacrosse Report starts now.
For an athlete, there's nothing scarier than a torn ACL.
Athletes trust us with their care and their careers because we're a recognized leader in sports medicine.
Get back to your active life sooner with MedStar Sports Medicine.
White Market's ice cream plant is based in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, and it's locally owned and operated. We've been making our ice cream for nearly 50 years. We create roughly 70 flavors of ice cream right now. We use local ingredients, especially our cream, which is from our milk plant. The cream is what gives our ice cream a rich and creamy texture. Now, together with our customers, we've created a product called Peanut Butter Indulgence, which will be coming out this summer. It's a peanut butter ice cream with sea salt caramel swirl, chocolate-covered pretzel. How can you go wrong with that? Personally, I love our ice cream. If you come to our house at any given time, you'll find at least 5 packets of ice cream in our freezer. Our kids grew up eating Wise quality ice cream, and now we get to treat our grandchildren to it. It's been a pleasure for me to be tasting ice cream for over 40 years for Wise Markets, and I'm loving every minute of it.
Welcome to another edition of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. I'm your host, Spiro Morekas, along with the head coach of the Tigers, Shawn Nadelen. And coach, this week the Tigers heading back to a spot where Towson had one of the greatest victories in program history when you took down the number 1 team in the country, the Denver Pioneers, 2 years ago in the NCAA tournament. This year you go back, they're not number 1, they're only number 5. So they ton of slippage there by the Pioneers, huh? Another tough game, and I know your team's probably very, very excited to head west.
We are. We feel like we got a bitter taste in our mouth, obviously, from the Duke loss, knowing that we had a good control of that game, knowing that we're going to go out to Denver and face a tough opponent. They're very skilled, very good, very strong, obviously, at the face-off X. So we got to get out there and continue to try to put together a complete game from start to finish.
Obviously, when you talk about Denver, it starts with the face-off man, Mr. Baptiste, he's had some games that are amazing, and his percentage is 71.9%. He's going to go down as one of the greatest face-off men in the history of lacrosse. Mm-hmm. How do you deal with him right from the start?
Got to have your face-off guys prepared, so we've been watching quite a bit of film. He's very good at his craft. He's very good at using his wings to help him out. His wings are talented and skilled guys as well. So again, he's good. He deserves all the recognition that he gets. But I feel like our guys are pretty good too, and we got to be ready for that challenge, not just when we earn the ball and come out with it, but also if he earns the ball and how we need to be able to play a little bit of defense around him and then try to control him and not come out clean with the ball and maintain possession that way.
One thing you do know is that when you went out there 2 years ago, he won just about every face-off, but you guys still ended up winning the ball game. This year, I think you're better equipped at the face-off circle than you were 2 years ago with Alex Woodall and Steven Stillwell. When Woodall and Baptiste get down there, could this be the most weight ever on a face-off circle?
It's 2 large bodies going at it. I mean, we saw it last year when Denver came out to Towson and those 2 guys locking horns. There was some, you felt like the earth was shaking and moving with those guys going at it. And I got to imagine it'll be the same thing, And Trevor is good at when his opponent gets possession or gets control of the ball, at being able to kind of stall him from coming out and then being able to be in position to attack him when the ball comes out. So again, he's very good at what he does. Two big, strong, athletic bodies going at each other. It's going to be impressive.
Now, when you're number 5 in the country, you're obviously not a one-man show, and Trevor Baptiste is not the entire Denver team. This is a team that's solid on the offensive end. They're solid on the defensive end.
True. Offensively, they're very, very skilled. You know, they do a great job of all 6 guys working together. They move the ball very well, very fluid offense. Ethan Walker's, if not the best, one of the best shooters in the country.
23 goals on 33 shots.
Yeah, I mean, it's impressive. So obviously you got to get into his hands and really make him work to get a clean shot off or get any shot off. And then their midfield is very talented. They got a strong attack unit that they rotate a few guys through. So good balance. You know, they understand who they are and what they need to do to be successful by sharing the ball. Defensively, you know, they do a great job of making you work to get into the interior of their defense, forcing some perimeter stuff.
One thing that when you look at the stats, goalie-wise, they're not saving even 50% on the year. Does that seem kind of odd to you that they've been as successful as they are and they're not even saving 50%?
When your face-off guy's 71%, you know, it kind of skews that a little bit. So usually if you're not good at facing off, you need to be really good in the cage, which we've had to do. So, you know, I know Coach T has talked about that. Sometimes they get a little, I don't want to say, I think he says spoiled maybe or something with Trevor being so good. Their defense, you know, sometimes, you know, gets exploited when they don't capitalize on the offensive end and have to play a little bit more defense. So they actually have had to switch goalies between the season as well. So they might be a little concerned in regards to what they're getting in the cage. But the guys in front of them are very good. So I think they're really looking to continue to play team defense.
Final non-conference game of the year. Then it all starts with CAA play next week against Hofstra. As you wind up this non-conference schedule, I know you've seen a lot of growth from this team from day one to what you see right now.
Absolutely. You know, and that's been reassuring, I guess is the word I'd use. Being able to see where we were from preseason, obviously laying a big egg opening game against Hopkins, you know, and not playing as well as we'd like to, but really starting to turn the corner in that Loyola game and building from that in a positive way, but still not playing as clean as we should be or need to be playing. So there's still a lot of work to be done, but we're taking small chunks at a time.
All right, so the Tigers will take on the Pioneers Saturday at 2 o'clock Baltimore time, noon Denver time. I'll have the call for you starting at 1:45 on TowsonTigers.com. So for head coach Shawn Nadelen, thanks for joining us for another edition of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. I'm Spiro Morekas, and as always, go Tigers.